Hey everyone, I'm Maria and welcome to my nook. I am so excited for today's video because I have bought books, a number of books, and I'm so excited to finally show you which ones I've bought. Okay, so let's start with the book that's been waiting to be revealed for the longest. It's A Brush with Love by Mazey Eddings. A Brush with Love is about dental student Harper Horowitz, and she's anxiously awaiting news from the residency program of her dreams, and she's laser focused. So crashing, quite literally, into Dan Craig is exactly the sort of dreamy distraction that she's trying to avoid. First-year student Dan may not have the same passion for pulling teeth that Harper does, but he's instantly smitten. When Harper makes it clear that she's not interested in trading fillings for feelings anytime soon, they set out to be just friends. A plan with the best of intentions and the poorest of follow-throughs. Late nights in the dental lab and the rather unsubtle matchmaking efforts of their friends draw Dan and Harper closer. Still, Harper can't shake the worry that a romance with Dan might risk everything she's worked so hard to build. Harper may have no trouble acing her studies, but falling in love is a whole new challenge. So yeah, I'm really excited to read this one. It's been waiting on my shelf for a while because I had wanted to include it in this video. Okay, and actually I talked about my vacation in my May and June wrap-up video, and on my vacation I bought a book. Im Kopf von Sherlock Holmes. In the head of Sherlock Holmes, or in the mind of Sherlock Holmes. And this book, it cost quite a bit. It was $28, which is not that little, but I had looked it up before buying it, and this book is gorgeous. I mean, the front is like a cutout, you see? And then you jump right into the book, and these pages, every single one of these pages is a literal artwork. I swear to God, look at this. This is magnificent. It's about, well, a case, and as far as I know, it's not an original Arthur Conan Doyle's case. And it says on the back that in the works of Conan Doyle's, Watson could only ever capture the physical appearance of Sherlock Holmes. But in this case, in this book, we are, for the first time, able to get a glimpse, into his mind. I glanced at some of these pages, and they are magnificent. Look at this. Without spoiling myself, but wow. I cannot wait to actually read the story in this book. And I'll probably be blown away, because just the way this is illustrated is already fantastic. I cannot wait to read this book. Jumping further ahead, I have also bought Between Ink and Shadows by Melissa Wright. The story intrigued me. Nimona Weston has a debt to pay. Her father's dealings with the dark society known as the Trust cost Nim her freedom. There's one way out of the contract on her life, and that's to bide her time and pay the tithes. But when the trust assigns Nim to a task in the king's own castle, her freedom is not the only thing she'll risk. Rorik Spencer has a secret. As King's Seneschal, he should be the last soul in Inera to risk association with dark magic. But long-hidden ties to the Trust are harder to shed than simply cutting the threads. When the Trust sends a thief to his rooms, Rorik thinks he's finally found a way to be rid of them for good. But Nimona Weston is hiding secrets of her own. And also, this cover has such a velvety feeling. It's amazing, and also it's gorgeous. I'm also very excited to be reading into this one. Very different from A Brush with Love, by the way. But I guess that's my bookshelf for you. Okay, shall we stay on the darker side or go back to the bright side? Let's go back to the bright side. In my last reading wrap-up video, I had read my first Christina Lauren book, The Unhoneymooners, and I had also said that I will be reading more of them because I enjoyed The Unhoneymooners, and I bought The Soulmate Equation. Jess Davis is a numbers genius, but when it comes to love, she's had to accept there is no magic formula. Juggling a career with raising her daughter, it's not surprising that her love life is non-existent. When yet another date ends in disaster, she's prepared to give up on love for good. But then she hears about Genetic Ally, a buzzy new matchmaking company that claims to find you the one using a DNA equation. Suddenly, love doesn't seem quite so far out of reach. Until her test shows an unheard of 98% compatibility with Genetic Ally's founder, Dr. River Pena. Jess already knows Dr. Pena, and this man is 100% not her soulmate. Yet as the pair are dragged from one event to the next, as the ultimate diamond pairing that could make Genetic Ally a fortune, Jess begins to realize that there might be more to the scientist and to the science behind a soulmate than she thought. I think that sounds very interesting, and also I really like this cover. I don't know, but books are also a lot about the cover. And I chose the more orange one. There's also a dark purple version, but I love orange, so I chose this one. And actually, now that we're speaking of Christina Lauren, I also bought another book from them. Something Wilder, which is their latest release. And I've heard that it's a little bit different from what they usually have written so far. So I will probably, I think I'll jump into this one before the Soulmate Equation. Something Wilder is about Lily, who has never forgotten the man that got away. But she certainly hasn't forgiven him either. As the daughter of a notorious treasure hunter, Lily makes ends meet using her father's coveted hand-drawn maps, guiding tourists on fake treasure hunts through the canyon of Utah. When the man she once loved walks back into her life, Lily can't believe her eyes. Frankly, she'd like to take him out into the wilderness and leave him there. Leo wants nothing more than to reconnect with his first and only love. Unfortunately, Lily is all business. It's never going to happen. But when the trip goes horribly and hilariously wrong, the group wonders if maybe the legend of the hidden treasure wasn't a gimmick after all. Alone under the stars, Leo and Lily must decide whether they'll risk their lives and their hearts on the adventure of a lifetime. And also, funnily, on the back of the book there's exactly 2 books that are advertised. The Unhoneymooners and the Soulmate Equation, which is exactly the book that I already owned, which prompted me to buy more of their books, and the other book that I bought alongside this. As if they knew. Alright, and we're already on the last book. Also, in my last wrap-up video, I've talked about Once Upon a Broken Heart by Stephanie Garber, and that a lot of people have said that it had been so nice to revisit some of the characters from the Caraval series in Once Upon a Broken Heart, which intrigued me to read the Caraval series. And I have now bought the first book of the Caraval series, namely Caraval by Stephanie Garber. By the way, why are fantasy books always so kind of extra with their covers? But I love it, they're gorgeous. The story of Caraval is the following. Scarlett has never left the tiny island where she and her beloved sister Tella live with their powerful and cruel father. Now Scarlett's father has arranged a marriage for her, and Scarlett thinks her dreams of seeing Caraval, the faraway, once-a-year performance where the audience participates on the show, are over. But this year, Scarlett's long-dreamt-of invitation finally arrives. With the help of a mysterious sailor, Tella whisks Scarlett away to the show. Only as soon as they arrive, Tella is kidnapped by Caraval's mastermind organizer, Legend. It turns out that this season's Caraval revolves around Tella, and whoever finds her first is the winner. Scarlett has been told that everything that happens during Caraval is only an elaborate performance, but she nevertheless becomes enmeshed in a game of love, heartbreak and magic with the other players in the game. And whether Caraval is real or not, she must find Tella before the 5 nights of the game are over. A dangerous domino effect of consequences is set off, and her sister disappears forever. Welcome, welcome to Caraval! Beware of getting swept too far away. Sounds very interesting indeed. I've only kind of shied away from Caraval so far because there's someone whose opinion on books I trust a lot, and she was not that over the moon with Caraval. But I'll see for myself. So yeah, that's the last book in my book bag, and I cannot wait to read them all. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, maybe give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys somewhere else on the internet. Bye!